I mean, I know you're not big into supernatural issues, but when I look at all of this, I have to say the Gnostics, who, if I simplify the Gnostic ideas, and we know about Gnostic ideas because a batch of texts were found buried at a place called Nag Hammadi in Upper Egypt, near the Temple of Dendera in Upper Egypt, and they've been buried for 1,600 years, and they were found in 1945, and they contain a complete corpus of ideas of a people who call themselves the Gnostics, and they see a dark force at work in the universe, which is seeking to snuff out the divine spark in humanity, and it's a supernatural force. And what they say is that the entity who we've been taught for the last 2,000 plus years to believe is God, the God of Abraham, who may be called Yahweh or who may be called Allah, that from the Gnostic point of view, that's not a god at all. That's a demon. That's a lower level supernatural who's got this huge inflated ego, who wants to be praised and worshipped, who's constantly urging his followers on to acts of violence and war. And I think we cannot say there are any facts in this area. Maybe it's just the dark side of the human psyche, and maybe it's all generated by our brains, or maybe there is a supernatural realm. But I think Gnosticism is a very useful tool to look at the society we live in today. They believe that there were entities called archons, who are evil angels who disguise themselves as human beings and mingle with us to drive us into all manner of crimes and behavior that is hostile to the nature of the soul. And that's what I see happening everywhere. But they believed fundamentally we are good, and that we have this light within us, and that the way to reveal that light is through knowledge. That's why the serpent in the Garden of Eden is the good guy in the Gnostic reference.
That's very bizarre, the serpent being the good guy.
He's the good guy because he's saying to Adam and Eve, you have to know the difference between good and evil. You can't just be these thoughtless meat creatures, who are wandering around in a happy daze in the garden. If you're going to grow and develop, you have to make choices between good and evil, and it's the tree of knowledge of good and evil that the serpent introduces Adam and Eve to, and says you need to eat from that. And actually, I would say this is true. We do need to. We are defined by our choices. It's through our choices that we grow. And if we're ignorant of the context, how can we hope to grow?
It is important to have a sense of self, because it's important to brush your teeth. It's important to pay attention when you're driving. It's important to take care of your health while you're alive, or you'll suffer some ill consequences. But it's also important to recognize that a lot of your need to take care of yourself can overwhelm your greater perspective, the greater perspective of being a part of everything. And that it's not just about you. And the worst cases of human beings are the egos who run amok, like the dictator, like the Saddam Hussein, or the anyone who control. It's all them. It's all about them. And
huge, insane egos.
And they cut people down and smash, and destroy and kill and leave horrible lives in the wake of their ridiculous detachment from these universal ideas. And we are a part of a giant collective consciousness.